did you feel about that weight miss thing personally? Were you kind of like, what was your opinion on it?
I mean, I don't think he tried. Like, you could sit there and say as a doctor or somebody stopped it. There ain't no doctor that's going to knock on your door the day before unless you're calling them and you're telling them, look, we have an issue. But you're 9 pounds off.
That's a lot. That was a lot. I think that was the point. It's not like I was 2 pounds off, like 9 pounds.
Yeah.
And when you're doing something, again, when you have that goal, when you're a fighter or an athlete or a model, or you have a shoot or whatever, you know exactly where you're at. So you know a week out, oh, I'm way behind, so I need to put that extra effort in.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, bro, at ounces where your body starts feeling, ounces where you're like, yo, call a doctor. I'm 5 ounces away and I can't feel myself, or I can't walk. 8 pounds away, his fat self is probably freaking eating a Snickers bar, talking about, yeah, you know, I don't feel like doing it. Yeah. Or maybe he just didn't. Obviously, I don't think he respected Nate Diaz enough to do the extra work of, let me go. Oh, I need to go run. I need to go train. Or for me, it's like, I'm respecting my opponent no matter who it is. And you can just tell that if I'm fighting Nate Diaz, obviously, I don't think I'm going to work as hard as I am if I were going to fight like a Gilbert Burns or a Sean Brady or somebody of that style that I know it's going to be a fight. Like Nate Diaz, Nate's like everybody wants that fight. He's
Nate's
a G.
a G. And you got to remember, like, listen, the way you said that I'm not going to work like that, but gas tank wise.
But did you watch the fight though? Him against Tony Ferguson, they looked like he was flabby. He didn't look like he cared at all.
But I think Nate can put on an extra 40 pounds and still be able to last 10 rounds.
Yeah, but it's you could last the 10 rounds, but what are you going to do?
What are you doing in those 10 rounds?
Yeah, it's like Leon Edwards was tossing him around.
Yeah,
if Leon Edwards was tossing you around, what do you think that Khamzat's going to do to you? Like, I feel like Nate went in there with the mindset like, you know, I'm just going to go in there, get this last check out the way, and whatever. I ain't going to work hard for it, because he looked terrible in there. And Tony Ferguson looked even worse. But like, if Tony looked that bad and Nate looked even worse than him, it's like, what would have really happened? And honestly, it could have been even a blessing for the UFC, because if Nate would have went in there, he would have got killed by Khamzat. Then it would have been like, oh, Nate's still a G. He still fought Khamzat. The UFC's evil. Blah blah blah. They made him fight Khamzat. So now they ended up giving him Tony Ferguson. He looked terrible against Tony Ferguson. He didn't look good against Tony Ferguson. I know he got the finish, but he didn't look good. So now it's like, did his stock raise or did his stock lower?
But wouldn't you have just loved to see? Okay, just in a imaginary
alternate universe,
wouldn't you have loved to see Nate win that fight
against Khamzat?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I would have loved to see it.
I think that it's like, you see these stories, right? And you know, it's that Rocky kind of story. Like, and I would have just, like, even though I knew technically Khamzat had it on him, I would have just loved that, you know, that lucky punch that comes in and then dazes him a bit, and then the slaps come out and then he points at you, and then it's like, what a way to finish, right?
Dude, that would have been epic. That would have been crazy if that ended up happening. But and like the way Khamzat comes out, he comes out like
see how he came out on that last one?
He comes out so hard. So it's like, if you just survive that first 2 to 3 minutes, then we would see what happens. Even with Holland, like he was scrambling a little bit, scrambling. And then I was like, man, if it gets to the second round, Khamzat, you're on a sprint the whole time. You're going to end up getting tired. I don't care who you are, especially if you had a bad weight cut and you're still big. There's no way that you're in this shape.
His flow on top of Holland, the way he was just using his torso to change the angles and stuff, that was beautiful though.
But let's not kid ourselves. Holland's not a grappler at all. Holland sucks in wrestling, and the people who beat him are bigger wrestlers, bigger grapplers. So like, and for him, he was fighting Daniel Rodriguez. He was fighting a striker himself. So I don't think he was really trained in grappling. But like everybody at 185, Derek Brunson, Marvin Vettori, all they did was take him down. So I like people coming at, oh, Khamzat just dominated Holland like that. I mean, like, stylistically, it was a terrible matchup for Holland. Like, I'm sure he got paid for it. I'll respect him for taking it, but like, I want to see him go against another type of guy with grappling that can defend a takedown. Gilbert Burns defended a couple of takedowns, and then it became a war for him. Guy that could defend a takedown. We'll see where Khamzat goes then.